Cea bună și pe spărșente timir să venit to TeddyGreyOnStuff today, Fero. We're going to check out one of his old tracks because I know that he just dropped yesterday. So we're going to check out this track and then check out the brand new track as well. So I'll leave a time link probably in the description or the comments. Just click that and it will take you to the new one if you don't want to see this one. But without further ado, let's go. Oh yeah, like, comment, subscribe. And I have the English translation as well, so I'm hoping this is fine.
Ey Fero Alles baba
Alles Hej nona, unë jëm baba për Ikona. Jëm luen të e qik, ta po thojnë e jona. Gje nisën që se bona pëse në fqi i fola. Shdo sen që e folja, bashdo se në vërtë tova. Po do me kalzu gjyksa, po do një cilta. Dhe so unë jëm komedi, shdo koncept po kalzu bilta. S'po ju shoj veqo, po ju shoj publika. Kit publika, po për te dy e një birra. Vespa, se po du me pi gjoj. Jo manjak, edhe po ma thesho.
So obviously that was the chorus. I like that as a chorus. I don't like the fact that he's going at Unicatil. I think he needs to chill on that. Any of the young ones or anybody, you know, who came after Unicatil, you need to leave that the fuck alone. Like, leave it alone. Don't bother. What's the point? Do you know what I mean? You should be hailing these people as greats. You shouldn't be looking to damage their reputation or sully their name. Do you know what I mean? You should just be looking to hone in and try and do what they did, but maybe expand on it, you know? That should be the only reason why their name is in your mouth. But that was a fire chorus.
To be fair, let's be fair to him, you know.
Po ju shon publika, kit publika po për te dy e një birra. Vespa, se po du me pi gjoj. Jo manjak, edhe po ma thesh shumë heca. Që tu për me mri, vetja. S'mon është ti mu ko ma real, so mu lis për del. Telefon, ku do që hit qytet. Mu m'gon, as jo të m'shovish mu. Jo të shojnë do, ti me dhip do mu livdu. Po dhipi jo të lo, e din kundër me kejt. Vit vet, për me zonë venin e por. Shumë let, e thira me o shpejt set. Mos shumë shet, that ass so fast, so I'll grab that. From the back, pipi lukët shpejt edhe hallu pa për sex. Se ju ubo wet shumë, manjak shumë. She a sick bitch.
See, this is where the sort of like American influence is coming in. And I can see why the old heads hate this. Like, I've already been told that a lot of like the older like hip hop rap heads, they don't really like this Fero guy. They don't really rate him, and I can see why. Obviously, back in the day, I'll just break it down for any of the young G's in here in attendance. Once COVID's got out of my fucking lungs. Back in the day where we were sort of used to having like subjects, okay? So you stuck to one subject throughout all of your bars. They were all about that one subject, or it was all about one event, or it told a story that sort of flowed. Do you know what I mean? Whereas with this, like all of the lyrics so far have been like, I don't know who they're aimed at. Do you know what I mean? Like if the first half of that we've listened to already sounds like it was aimed towards his enemies. And now he's talking about her ass so fat, I grab that. Like who is he talking to? Do you know what I mean? Who's he talking to? So there's no sort of fluidity throughout his lyrics. So it's very hard for somebody who's used to focusing on one song being like a particular thing to then have bare different thoughts in their head. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It just seems weird, like while you're talking about, you know, I'm really hard, this and that, and then you start talking about bitches. Like, it's just weird.
Pa për sex, se ju ubo wet shumë. Manjak shumë. She a sick bitch. Drip. Kanë me nume mojë, që e ndur po Fero e qit. Bleda whip. Qia business.
Some money.
Pura shumë addicted. A qif shakon e donë, edhe në zemër kone kip. Pra 40 jetë e bukshyrti mangu me mushit. Jo me dhipin ma atë mirë mu, papi po më fyr. Njartë kom lik dy thon vetës papi amu.
See, okay, 40 years old and you're still trying to be a gangster. I'm with the finest bitch. She calls me daddy. Like, how do those two things... how does that equate? Like 40 years old and you're trying to be a gangster, okay. But then go on to say, I'm with the finest bitch and she's calling me daddy. Like, what does that, how do those two things, like, that doesn't make sense. Not really, that's stupid. That's stupid. Like, so it's throwing me off because some of the bars are hitting, right? Some of the bars make sense, they're cohesive, and he's got a thorough flow line throughout them. But then the subject matter just keeps changing from one thing to another. And I don't like it. I don't like it. Like, this is supposed to be a fucking diss record, right? So why is he talking about women for? You know? Unless Unicatel's like walking around professing to be some sort of player, which he's not, you know?
Hej nona, unë jëm baba për Ikona. Jëm luën të e qik, ta po thojnë e jona. Gje nisën që se buna, pse në fqi i fola. Gjdo sen që e fola, bashdo sen e vërtë tova. Po do me kalë të gjyksa, po do...
Also, in the chorus, he's got like a higher pitch to his voice. You ever seen Space Jam? You know when the monsters are like really small and they've got that like high pitched voice, and then they suck all the shit out of that ball, and then they become really big. Monsters. And then they got deep voices. That's him from his chorus to his verse. That's crazy.
Hej nona, unë jëm baba për Ikona. Jëm luën të e qik, ta po thojnë e jona. Gje nisën që se buna, pse në fqi i fola. Gjdo sen që e fola, bashdo sen e vërtë tova. Po do me kalë të gjyksa, po do një cirica. Dhe so unë jëm komedi, gjdo koncert po kalë të bilica. S'po ju shoj veqon, po ju shoj publika. Ki publika, po për te dy e në birra. Ti ma fi, qysh ti ma fi, lezëtove shtranda fila. E bëj një vi, qasa je i gotë dhe ty me ngej si vija.
That's kind of sick.
Ti ma fi, qysh ti ma fi, lezëtove shtranda fila. E bëj një vi, qasa je i gotë dhe ty me ngej si vija. Jo nuk kon nato amo je.
So apparently people keep saying that that's meant for Buta. Because apparently around about that time, Buta was posting pictures of himself with like roses all over him. And he's saying, you get an erection from roses. I make a line as big as you are and then sniff it. That's kind of a hard line. Like, if we're being real, that's kind of a hard line. I don't know. It's kind of hit. This kid's kind of hit and miss for me. I don't know what to think about him.
Jo nuk kon nato, amo jemi na. Mu ka nervëzu ka i se pin qitën këta. Jem të me kopila, mos po m'thirin bab. Po do me bufon, najde unë ta ja. Po lype problem, avioshat në internet, qojnë për kërse, brete te. Qyshat qyri shtrem, te pitutës bond gem, se rrejnë shumë shpejt, njejt si def. Ta shuk jom bitch gang, ta shom edhe shtet.
Who produced this beat? Who produced this beat? I swear, I heard a name at the beginning, and I'm guessing that was the producer of this beat. But whoever it was has done an incredible job. An incredible job. And the engineer behind this as well. Like, his vocals are all hitting as well. When there is auto-tune used, is rare, but when there is auto-tune used, it's nice. I like everything about this track so far. It's just his bars. Like, they're not the greatest, you know what I mean? But if this was early on in his career, I can allow it.
Qyshat qyri shtrem, te pitutës bond gem, se rrejnë shumë shpejt, njejt si def. Ta shuk jom bitch gang, ta shom edhe shtet. Sola as dhe her, tu bo lek. Kalzo sa je i shtrejt, kalzo vetës sa peshet. Kalzo blej ma shpejt me cash. E sroda ketu deku në dhe sa kar. Djem të popës më su shtyri cili mu po bab. Një pope kini kejt edhe unë jem qaj. Nuk o konkurent, jeni me shumë larg. Oh, you cheat
And obviously he said that because of Dis Hyson. Now Erblin did put that in the translation, but as soon as I read that someone's mum got fucked, I instantly thought about Dis Hyson. I thought that's got to be a line from that, because there's no way there's anybody else like wild enough other than Unikato to say that. You know what I mean? Anybody else saying it after him is just copying his lyrics.
Gang, 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 gang. T'es ma fille, qysh t'es ma fille, lezëtove shtrandafila. E boj një vi, qasa je I gotë dhe ty me ndjesi via. Hej nona, unë jëm baba për Ikona, jëm luen të e qik, ta fotojnë e jona. Gje nisën që se buna pëse në fqit pola, shdo sen që e folja, bashdo se në vëtë tola. Po do me kalzu gjyksha, po do një cita, dhe so unë jëm komedi, shdo koncept po kalzu pizza. Po ju shoj veçon, po ju shon publika. Ki publika, po për te dy jeni birra.
Well, okay. Okay then. So what I'm going to do is, we're definitely going to do the next one after. Definitely. Okay, so, I don't know, mixed feelings about the record, to be honest. It's the same thing as like Don Johnny Mafia. Like if I was to just go by the beat alone, I can allow the beat to gas me up enough that I enjoy the track. Like I could listen to that again because the beat carried it. Do you know what I mean? Even if that was in English and the lyrics were shit, if the beat's good enough, I can kind of tolerate it to a certain extent. Do you know what I mean? That beat was fire, all over the place, and the engineering done on his vocals as well. Wow. So shouts out to whoever that was. I'll find out after. But yeah, man, it was just the bars. Everything else about him, like he had a good enough cadence. His flow could definitely use some work. Just because there were bits where it was sort of like slowed down, or he stayed at the same pace when really he should have gone faster or slower. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like obviously I'm seeing now that says 3 years ago. So by now, when we listen to this new one, I'm hoping that his flows come a long way. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so now that Baba Per Ikona is out of the way, now it's time for 24. This is the brand new one. So without further ado, let's do this. Like, comment, subscribe, and let's go. Or not. These fucking headphones, man. This is going to be a running thing throughout this whole channel. These fucking headphones.
Alles, raus, apet, hajde, jasht, krisi, zap, nishi, nkeni, ba, ha! Kesh 19 vjet, gojsha për lek, si mi posta djen, ta shëmbo 5 vjet, ta shpëgoj për lek, se përgoj.
I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting something deeper on the drop, the way he hyped it up. Do you know what I mean? Is anyone else getting that feeling?
Alles, raus, apet, hajde, jasht, krisi, zap, nishi, nkeni, ba, ha! Kesh 19 vjet, gojsha për lek, si mi posta djen, ta shëmbo 5 vjet, ta shpëgoj për lek, se përgoj ndjen. Halesila qytet, ta më jëmë 3 shok, bitch, unë e vit vet. Nëse plumat janë shok, unë nuk jëm vet, unë jam e 20 roda, estrada, me nova, e vloda, shu bloka, ju trishtoj me mdoll për para. Gjykota, mu ka bu koncert me dota.
Somebody has got to do something about the directing for Albanian music videos, because they are not good enough. They're not good enough. All of these videos are exactly the same. Like, even down to the dogs, bro, even down to the dogs. The first video that I ever saw from an Albanian music director, right, was Don Johnny Mafia. And in it, he had dogs. He had dogs, he had Mercedes. What else did he have? Oh, he was stood outside of a very important looking building with a suit on. Jesus Christ. There were women with their arses out, like bent over cars and shit. Why? It's the same formula for every music video. Am I the only one that's getting bored of it? Like, obviously you guys have been listening and watching Albanian music for time. So their music videos, you've been watching for ages. You let me know in the comments, are you bored of it? Because I fucking am. Every single video is exactly the same. Like, give something. This is what I'm saying. Like, this is why some of these songs, they have no substance. The reason they have no substance is because they don't plan the whole song out. There's no like thorough line throughout their songs. Do you know what I mean? This is why people hold on to Unikatill's music. And this is why Fero shouldn't be dissing him. Because Unikatill had a thorough line. If Unikatill was making a song about his brothers back home, the whole song was about his brothers back home. So if you were going to make a music video for it, you could center it around that and create a beginning, middle and end that was enticing for a viewer. This isn't enticing. It's just watching the same shit over and over again, but with a different beat and a different voice behind it. But it's the same video. And these are all different directors. So what are they doing? Just getting around a lunch table and laughing about how much money they're taking from people. Taking the fucking piss, man. Fero, bro, I'll do your fucking video for free for you. How's that?
Gjykata mu ka bu koncert me dota Tërheqje pi i popit nëse thot dhipis jam baba Kejt gangstera, po tutna po takomi Gjallë thika, shka vete njoni Kejt gangstera, po tutna po takomi Gjallë thika, shka vete njoni O sa mi bënina, kthej sa tu po dita Përmasë policia O sa mi bënina, kthej sa tu po dita Përmasë policia
I've heard that flow before. Policia, policia, Jaiko in Chaboni. He had that same flow. Jaiko in Chaboni. Tell me I'm wrong.
Përmasë policia O sa mi bënina, kthej sa tu po dita Përmasë policia
Sounds like the same flow.
Kupido, që se po t'i bina Qysho sot, o shumë dop t'i po për mbeturina Thuj që so, qa po thoma, thuj se nuk pedina
Who is managing these people? Like, I'm not, obviously I'm not hating, you know I'm not. I wouldn't have stayed on this Albanian music journey for as long as I have done if I wasn't genuinely interested in the art form, right? I am invested, and I'm invested to the point now where it's pissing me off. Who manages these people? How are you not putting ad-libs behind this? Like, how does he not have somebody in the studio that goes, do you know what, this would sound better with da-da-da-da? Can nobody talk to these artists? Are they just behind glass doors that you can't talk to them? Do they not have friends? Bro, so many of these, like, it seems like artists that have come in within the last, like, 5 years, because you can make it on your own. Do you know what I mean? And people can make it off just one good song. But then after that, they need management. Do you know what I mean? You can't just do one good song and then, here, I'm a label, here, take money. Take this money, go and make me an album. It's going to be a classic off the back of one good song. It feels like that's what they're doing, or a few good songs. And they're not actually putting the effort into managing these artists to make them better. Because from this to what I just listened to from that Baba per Ikona, which was 3 years ago, I'm not seeing any progression. I'm not seeing any progression. And that the worst thing is that might not even be his fault. Because if he's found a formula that works for him, why would he change it? But for me personally, I look for elevation from an artist. If you're not constantly stepping it up and doing better and better and better, I don't want to listen to you. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're not doing better than the last shit, I may as well keep listening to the last shit. Because I don't want to start listening to new stuff that's worse than the old shit. I need new stuff. It needs to be better. Come on,
Qysho
man.
sot, o shumë dop t'i po për mbeturina Thuj që so, qa po thoma, i thuj se nuk pedina E tripi jot, s'po dalë ku e ke vjedh pedina Kur su qela gjithë nga heca Tu kalu shumë sfida, edhe thera qa tu shkela Po s'më shky patika, e heda që pipina Jo nuk kjo që sativa e bobës diçka niva, garant për kopila like tu kontra ndafila, jo mboba i kullera vit qatyne që bëj stila tu kontra ndafila, jo mboba i kullera vit qatyne që bëj stila o sa mi bënina, kthej sa tu botita për masë policia o sa mi bënina, kthej sa tu botita për masë policia alles raus, apet, hajde, jash, krisi, zap, nishi, ngeni, ba.
What was I say? Produced Zap and Chris. Video, Macrofilms, go fuck yourselves. Executive producer, Mehmet Elson. Executive producer. Come on, man.
There's no way that even needed an executive producer. There were what, 3 locations, 4 different camera angles. Fuck me. Like, I'm not joking, but like kids have made better shit on TikTok. These music videos are starting to piss me off. Jesus Christ. Don't even get me started on like the Taina, Defina, Melinda, because all of their music videos are starting to look exactly the same as well when I think about it. Genuinely, like as a people, we might, and I say we because I listen to what you guys say, okay? Most of the time I form my opinions on this music based on what you guys say. You guys know the art form better than I do. But yeah, as a people, we need to do something about this. It's becoming a fucking epidemic. An absolute epidemic. Fero's alright, you know? I feel like there is obviously work to be done, you know, his flow. But saying that, the first one we listened to was 3 years ago. And like I said, I don't really see any progression. There's not even any reverb like behind his voice. His vocals are just like stagnant. It's like he recorded it on his iPhone and there was no editing done. It's just his voice and then on a song it goes. Then out to the public. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't feel like any time or effort or care has been taken into the music. So all in all, actually, when you think about it, not that great. TeddyGreyOnStuff, let me know what you thought in the comments.